Welcome back to the off-grid homestead. Our canas are starting to bloom. I noticed them from over there. They're bright. That attracts the hummingbirds. Got two blooming over here. These over here have already bloomed. Oh, I got some little ones over here that are blooming. Canas. This one here, well, this is the banana. You can kind of get an idea. It's up to, well, if I go hold it up straight, the leaves are up to my shoulders, but the trunk is basically up to my waist, and I'm 5'8". Our garden's been coming right along. We did have an issue. We had one of our goats decided that it was going to be good to get into the garden and basically have a feast. So she, with our Methley plum over here, if you look in our previous episodes, this used to be a big, almost bushy type tree. Here's one of the branches right here. Right. Picked clean. Several of them. 1, 2, picked clean. Broken off the tree. And then we had a Honeycrisp apple tree over here. And it actually had some apples on it. But you can see she broke that clean off, killed that. And then this one over here, this is a cider apple tree. She had bent that one over 90 degrees. And she didn't just do it once. She had to get back in here again. After I went through, made sure she couldn't get in around the fence, she still worked her way in the next day. Come in here. Hopefully I've convinced her that getting into the garden and destroying the trees isn't a good thing. The thing was, when I saw her in here, she was running around, and I'm trying to get her out. But I don't want her to trample or destroy anything else. But she would run to a different spot and eat. Right? And then I get close to her and she'd run and eat. Run and eat. But destroying the garden.
Babe.
Yep.
We have a bug in the garden.
Oh, there's bugs in the garden.
It's a one bug. It's a big bug.
A big bug. A bugaboo.
That's our friend's dog.
Bugaboo.
She's moving away.
Yeah.
They're watching until the travel agency comes and gets her.
Yeah, she's gonna travel to the other
Other
all the
side
way
of
to
the-
the other side of the world, in the other hemisphere.
You're gonna be next to the ice wall.
Over here we got our fig
Nope.
tree going. There's little tiny figs. 1, 2, 3. It's
Lady?
loaded with figs.
Nope. No barking at the duck.
Yeah, bugaboo. Bugaboo. The little. Where is she?
Oh, that was Lady.
No, bugaboo's right here. She killed a duck.
No,
Or
not
a
a chicken.
chicken. A
A
chicken.
baby chicken. And you know what? She's gonna do a little chick. And I grabbed her collar and went no, and she stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
she
but
thought they were toys.
She actually brought it back like she did something good.
Yeah, she was all proud of it, and I was like, no. I said no, and I did the little vibrating thing. I went no, and I vibrated it, and it scared her.
Sunflowers are coming right along. Like I do, I'm impressed with my. See those canas over there with
Oh.
the dark red flowers?
You can see where Dum Dum was. It's all flattened.
Yeah, she's mowing down the chamomile and stuff. She was having a feast
Yeah, the chamomile, we're just gonna let it go wild. Just let it go. And all these weeds, I was pulling them up. I'm not doing more because the bees go to it.
Yeah, you can see all the bees flying
So
around.
I'm like, darn. So now I got to keep the roots on there because the honeybees and all the pollinators are going right to it. So
Lady likes it too.
yeah.
Lately we've had
Look at all that deal over there. Holy moly.
yeah. There's one of
It's
them.
like a forest.
One of those over here almost looks like a tree trunk, wherever it
Yeah,
was.
you can take over. I don't care. I'll just do a trim around the trees. Like this, I'll pull that weeds away from the trunk.
But I was looking at one of these.
I love the smell.
One of these. Oh, look at the size of the stalk on this.
Holy
dill.
moly.
What is that? An inch and a half?
Yeah.
And this is all chamomile. All these little white and yellow flowers.
You can make a tea out
We've
of it.
got honeybees on there.
All this dill, she
Bumblebees.
broke my dill.
Yeah, that was.
This dill
dum-dum.
can take over. I'm just gonna weed around the trees, but it could just take over. I don't care.
We've had temperatures are in the high 90s, low hundreds lately. And today you can see the sky, perfectly blue skies.
A little bit of clouds. Not
Yeah,
bad.
but it was full of smoke. We've had some forest fires. You can't smell the burning wood anymore.
She destroyed that one too.
Yeah, I know. Well, I had to stand that one up twice. She, Dum attacked that tree, bent it over 90 degrees, like 90 to the ground. Snapped that one off.
Oh, our
So
plum tree.
I re-stood that one back up, staked it all around. Next day she's back in here. That tree's bent over 90 degrees again.
Oh yeah, and she ruined our plum tree and ate the plums off of it.
She's lucky I didn't have a gun.
We had plums on here, but not anymore.
Oh, there's a plum right here.
Oh, we got one.
Yeah,
She
there's one
ate them
plum.
all.
Yeah, she ate all the plums. There's one plum.
Only one.
One plum. Yeah, Dum ate them all.
Oh yeah, and our
Okay.
apples. We had that apple tree, that cosmic apple was gonna have apples. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, we can get another one. We're gonna fence down there and then plant more trees, but we were gonna do the bottom part, but we're gonna do the garden first. So we could put trees in here because the wood will be gone. And then we'll put a greenhouse here. We'll just fence it in. We got enough T-posts. Just trying
So
to get all of our other
we
things.
had the goats decide that they were going to destroy the garden,
Yeah.
and then
And then they killed my. Whoops. Then the goats ruined my baby boy, and he passed away.
no, not yet.
Come here, lady. Lady, come on.
On the bright side, our magnolia tree. We got another flower coming out. You can see, I hope.
Oh, Dum looks at that one too, babe.
I know they want to eat it. She actually get up on our hind legs and try to.
Yeah.
That's what she does to the trees in there. She gets up on her hind legs and tries to knock the whole thing
Well, this
over.
is all gonna be fenced in. We're fenced off.
Started working on a utility room, shower, bathroom off the back of this Conex box. And I was drilling these 12-inch holes using our Takeuchi skid steer with a hole auger bit on it. There's Dum. Dum's the one laying down right there. That's the one that thinks it's okay to destroy all our plants. But I was drilling these holes and I laid it out. I gotta put footings, and I initially laid it out so that I was gonna drill over here, right? And then I was looking at it and I had ran solar wiring and timber frame site wiring in conduit under the ground along with the water, because our well's over here, And I drilled this hole near the ground. That went well. The ground is really, really hard. And then I went to drill. I looked at this side and I decided, well, no, I'm going to move it over because I think that the electricity is running underground over there. At least that's the way the trench looked like it went. And I was drilling over here, and I drilled right into our PV. If you know what PV is, that's our photo voltage coming from our solar panels, along with all the other wires I had ran and the water line. And I drilled right into it. And that's what this is. This piece here was wrapped around the auger bit. You can see all the wiring, it's all chewed up. Right? Destroyed it. And then I had to repair all that. It's still dug up because we got another surprise coming to the homestead. But I repaired all that wiring. I had to dig that all up by hand. The ground is hard as a rock, clay soil, hard as a rock. That took me a couple of days to get done, and I had to repair the water line and put all that wiring back together. Once I was done with the skid steer, I disconnected our hydraulic lines. This one goes in the top, and the male one goes in this bottom fitting. And here you can see the outside of this fitting should look like this fitting. Right, these are, oops, the female fittings. You get this fitting and then this fitting. Well, when you disconnect the hydraulic fittings, so you got the male, where is it? You got the male and then you got the female, right? Well, when you disconnect them, the insides are supposed to pop out to be like this one. Well, as you can see, that's not what happened. If you've ever seen a fire department fireboat, and they got that water cannon, this was like a oil cannon, and it was spraying. When I disconnected that, I got covered with hydraulic fluid because it was spraying out of there. Lady, stop. It was spraying out of there like a fire hose. It was spraying. And I had to jump back in the skid steer, shut it down to get it to stop. And then what I did is I took a rake and raked all the soil because this was covered with hydraulic fluid. I got to get that repaired today. And these were just supposed to be, and then I had these fence posts sitting in a wood preservative, and the goats knocked that over. And that's why the soil is all dark over here. And then I guess the biggest thing that we had, what was that? Three things that went wrong. One of them went wrong twice. The goats getting into the food forest garden. And then one day we left Shadow out, the little sheep, white sheep, used to follow us on the walks. And he was left out with the goats and the other sheep, and somebody decided they were going to beat him up. And he ended up passing away. Today we're gonna get the skid steer repaired, and we're gonna go back to work on closing off the back side of the barn. And I gotta get that utility room done, and I gotta get back on the timber frame. Let's get this day started. New fitting. You can see this bulkhead fitting is a female, and then the male they go together. It's a spring actuated quick disconnect fitting. But we haven't been able to, I don't have anything to block that off. When you start the skid steer, it starts the hydraulic pump, and then it just sprays everywhere. $135. I'm wiping this grime off because I don't want it in my hydraulic system before I complete unthreading this fitting. So this fitting has an O-ring on it, so it seals. Old fitting almost looks like it's rebuildable. we'll know we're successful if it doesn't spray everywhere. Literally, it sprays like a fireboat or a water cannon. You get those Persian Gulf naval ships, and they got like water cannons on that deck. So the oil tankers have water cannons to keep the pirates away in the Indian Ocean over there, east coast of Africa. I think it's the Somali pirates. So we'll start her up, and if she's not spraying everywhere, at least that part's fixed. Then I can move on to my next project. Yeah, basically I was standing right here, just the fitting. I think there's like a fine mist of oil everywhere. Okay, we check the hydraulic fluid, and seems as though we're okay. Have to be careful now. We sprayed oil all over this. I'm gonna get some blocks. The right side of that fitting breaking, all the steel got a fresh coat of oil, prevents rust. An update on the off-grid homestead. So over the last several days we've been working on a lot of projects, to-dos that we have to get done. So one of them is our barn animal shelter. Alright, previous episodes we took and leveled it. The ground isn't totally level. But what I built a base for it, driving those post base in the ground. And previous episode, I used those post bases for these posts you see coming down into the ground. Right, that keeps our timber, our mill timber that we cut, out of the wet soil, so help us with the bases of them. Instead of having to set up footings for each one, we use those post bases. And then we got some repurposed sheet metal roofing that was cut to a certain length for, I'm guessing, a project in the past. And we set our heights, and then we take these panels and they go down into the ground at least 6 inches. And we're doing that to help prevent rodents from wanting to move in. This is going to be for the livestock and the sheep. We've been working on that with our wood from our sawmill. I could get you hooked up in a tree. Another thing we've done is the porter huts. Everybody that guessed correctly, that was in a previous episode where we talk about those. But we moved another lady in, and I'll show you. She's making herself quite at home. You can see right over here in the porta hut. You'll have to correct me if I mispronounce it. That's it. She's a Michan pig. So we're gonna move another pig in. This is a female. And then we're gonna get some, what are they, babe? Coon?
Coon. We're getting a male coon. They said coons grow slower, but they're really good on fat weight.
Yeah.
And then they said these are kind of good for meat. So they said a lot of people breed the coon male with the Michan pig.
The Michan?
Yeah, they said it's excellent meat. A lot of people do that.
Right.
That's how the choice.
So we still have to fence this in with our cattle fencing, and then around the edge we're going to raise that up and put up some barbed wire
And sonics.
and maybe along the bottom of it. And what do you get? An ultrasonic test deters.
Yeah, just for the outside. Look at Poseidon thinks he's part
So
pig.
I don't think it's gonna. Yeah, he does. He now has a relative on the homestead.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Well, because he remembers it too.
That's what we've been up to today. We're going to move from the barn, which we haven't totally completed.
Well, yeah, it's
and,
like
and
a
we're going to
third
build
down
paddocks. We're going to fence in the area for these pigs. How many paddocks are we making, babe?
place.
3?
Yeah, but well, we can do 2, but
So you're going to do another one for another pig?
Yeah, for a coon, but I'm gonna see if I can have the 2 females together when they have babies, or do you have to separate them? I gotta check on that. But the male.
If you know whether or not you need to separate 2 female sows,
Yeah.
female pigs, when they're having their young, let us know in the comments.
Here, take a picture of Poseidon. He's not pig.
Poseidon thinks
Look at him.
he's a pig.
Yeah. She claimed his spot, so I guess it's her spot.
Yeah, she plays the song.
She actually likes it here.
She's digging trenches.
She likes it here. I've never seen her like this. She's happy.
Yeah. How old is that pig?
A year and a half.
A year and a half? I'd say she weighs. She's more than 300 pounds.
Oh gosh.
That was something trying to get her.
3 hours. 3 hours it took us just to get her from where she was to the trailer, and then bring her up here. We had to use the skid steer to try to bring her thing up because it's so heavy.
Well, I think one of my recommendations would be
Get when they're young and don't move them.
yeah. Once you get them when they're young, and then you're not gonna move them again.
Nope. She's cute, isn't she?
I didn't know a pig could buck.
Oh yeah, she does buck.
Yeah, she comes about 1.5 feet off the ground.
And she stepped on my foot.
Basically, that's how we got her moved. Every time she bucked in the air, you could move her
Yeah.
an inch.
Yeah, I had to put, it was gross, but I had to put my knee up into her butt and just go, whoop, and then she'd buck and whoop. It was like, what was it, like this much?
Yeah.
She only moved like maybe 6 inches buck.
I don't know if you had like a cattle prod, if they'd move.
I don't
They'd probably
know.
move easier. You got to move forward.
Yeah, but I think
And then
that's
we'd get her close. We'd get her close where we wanted her to go, at least up to the trailer.
And then she'd sit down.
Well, no, she ran away.
Yeah, but
She
then
ran away how many times?
a lot. But she sat down one time and I'm like, oh man, and we had to get a little stick and pry her butt up.
Yeah, put a stick underneath her and use it
Get
as a
it.
lever and pry her to
And
move
then I put
forward.
my foot there.
She's here. She's made
You should
herself
see my
at home.
legs. My legs are like filthy dirty.
So let's get the start working on this fence, so I can get back onto the barn, so I could get back onto the
Oh, we were gonna do it outside.
utility bathroom, so I could get onto the timber frame.
Yeah, it's really hot up there, so we're kind of doing all the stuff down here where it's nice and breezy.
We got to get the utility room done before winter.
Yeah, we don't want to take showers outside.
Okay, everybody. I had 2 boxes just like this, but with the heat of the sun, the camera shut off. So we still have most of the boxes here. So we talked about a surprise that we're looking forward to getting, and some of the issues that we've been having, and especially during winter, running off of solar. So during the day, while we do gain quite a bit of solar, we do have to supplement some time with our generator. Well, we just completed an order, and you guys can guess what this is really about. So I opened the other box already. I'll open this one. Our solar system is 600 volts. Oh, yeah, 600 amp hours of 48 volt battery storage. So now, including what I already took out and put on the ground, I'm gonna cut this side open. Cables. All right. So now we've expanded our storage capacity at 48 volts. I got one on the ground already, and we're about to pull this one out. So this is a 51.2 volt, 100 amp hour battery. Right, at 100 amp hours. So we have two of these. So we're going to expand our solar system from 600 amp hours. Oh, ow, that hurt. 600 amp hours to 800 amp hours. Wow. Now you're a raspberry. Those are heavy. 800 amp hours of 51.2 or 48 volt electricity. That's our first upgrade. So we're going from 600 amp hours to 800 amp hours of 48 volt storage. Now in these boxes, we get this. In these boxes, this is going to be somewhat of a game changer for us. I'm going to move this down. Can you guess what this is? Cables. Cables. A few different boxes. So this here for now. I'm going to temporarily use this packing to set stuff in. This. Packed very well. So this is a little bit of a game changer for us. We set our solar system up originally with dual 6500 EG4 charge inverters, and with this is an upgrade. This is an upgrade. All inclusive. So we upgraded to, we went from two 6500 EG4 inverter chargers to three 6000 EG4 6000 XP inverters. And these inverters, while our other inverters were more of a hybrid inverter, right, which is more for if you're living in town and you're working between the grid or general utilities and solar power. This is more of an off-grid concentrated inverter. So with this inverter, with the previous inverters, we had to have a PV shut off. You had to have the individual breakers, and then you had to have various other things. This inverter will power 220 and 120 from one inverter, where before I had to have two inverters that were 180 out of sync from each other. So basically sending 120 and 120 power to our, basically our well pump right now, but any other electrical current that requires 220. These are all inclusive. So this one inverter will power our well pump, our 220 power, and our homestead. But we didn't stop there. We got one of these. We got one of these. One of those, and then two, three of them. So we went from one 6500 EG4 inverter to three 6000 EG4 inverters, which are each independently capable of 220 power and 110. And what does that mean for me? I can bring more PV power, solar power, in to charge my batteries. And we increased our battery capacity from 600 amp hours to 800 amp hours, which is a substantial increase. So, if you're already tuned out, you're missing out. Living off grid is easy at times and extremely difficult at times. I don't know if it's easy. It's different. So there's no society pressures because we have no utility costs. But then you have the animals, the livestock, the food, the infrastructure, the home building site. So stay tuned as we install this. T-posts on the top and on the bottom. On the top we'll put 2 layers of barbed wire, and then around the bottom we'll put 1 layer of barbed wire. Discourage the pests. Still working on the barn over here. Made some headway. Right now we're got to get these paddocks areas closed in. Drive the T-posts. Oh, and our T-post pile driver. So that light pole, we drove that in the ground using our Titan right here, our Titan our Titan pile driver. You get different attachments for the ends. We're gonna drive one more round post up here because we're gonna divide this area up. One side goats, one side sheep. And then drive the T-posts in, then wrap the fencing. We're looking off of where the deck is going to be for the house down the valley. You get an idea of what the view will be. All right. Standing up here on one of these step ladders. That's going to be the view from the deck on the house, at least the first story. We'll have 2 stories. I got to get up here. I got to get this done. We have had I had some issues with our solar. Self-inflicted. I was drilling pilings for the utility room off the back of the Conex box. I plan on putting the washing machine, because we got a washing machine with our solar power. We can power that. We got our washing machine, and we're gonna put a bathroom, shower, basically a utility bathroom off the Conex box. Right now we're using the outdoor shower with our Lance truck camper, and I want to discontinue that use. I've got a setup, and we'll get into that once we get it all hooked up, but I got a setup for in the winter. Our wood stove will help heat our water, and then we have the an electric water heater, small electric water heater. What is it, like 50 gallons or 20 gallons or whatever it is back there, and then the water will get heated by the wood stove, and then it will be stored in that water heater, and then we'll be able to also engage that water heater through our solar power. After I repaired the PV, I drilled into the PV cables when I was drilling for the pilings for the utility room, and I still have that while I was working on the solar, and I drilled into the water line. I had to repair that, and that all goes up to our solar panels and to our home site. We have our the power from our solar panel. PV power comes down from our solar panels. We have 24 panels at 560 watts, I believe they are, and it comes down at about 600 volts from our solar panels, and that connects into our charge inverters, and then that sends up 110 220 power up to the timber frame site, and that power is also what we power everything here, so we're not running any generators. Update, let's see, we've expanded on the homestead. We got rabbits, we have chickens, we have turkeys, we have goats, we have sheep, and now we have a new addition. We've been working on that. Poseidon thinks he's one of them. But we're gonna harvest some lamb this fall, harvest some goat this fall, And then we have two. I've been working on fencing in some pens for the latest edition. These guys will eat anything. There won't be any scraps on the homestead. I don't know if you can see in the porta hut, sticking his head out right there. One there. Mexican, I believe they're Mexican pigs. Let me get a better view. Two of them. I can tell you, when a pig gets to full size, they don't move easily. And the other one's over in the other porta hut. Here she is. We have two of those Mexican pigs. Lady, come on. There's another one. She's in this porta hut. Lady, come on. Lady, come on. Lady, come on. Poseidon thinks he's a pig. He tries to sleep with them and cuddle with them if you let him. And then the Mexican pigs are big pigs. You're not when that animal decides it's not going somewhere and it decides to sit down, you're not going to move it. It took us like 3 hours a piece to move those pigs here. Took everything we had to get it to go up in the trailer. And then, where is he? Patrick. Oh, have to go around the other side. Then we got Patrick here. He is actually a coon pig. So we got two Mexican females and one coon male. And the goal is they'll all get married. And we'll have some Mexican coon pork when we harvest them. So we got the rabbits. The rabbits multiplied. No. Here's Patrick. Poseidon. Poseidon. Oh, alright. I'll turn you guys around so you can see them. There's Patrick, our coon piglet. He's really kind of cute. We've been working on our barn build here. The pigs are not staying in here. This is for the sheep. We did an episode on when we put all these uprights in. Well, we did an episode where we set this all up, put the sub base in, and then we did an episode where we added all these 4x4 rough cut timbers uprights with the post bases, so that we're not driving this wood into the ground. Alright, and then around the bottom, you can see here, the bottom here is sheet metal roofing, repurposed sheet metal roofing, and that goes down, that's driven down into the ground. And we got a whole bunch of feed hay here, grass hay, starting down the bottom up here, and it goes across it on the top. And I'll probably put some more bracing and boards over here. That way there we could store stuff up there. I think Patrick came out. Here's Patrick. See Patrick. Here's Patrick. Alright. We added to the fencing. We added Patrick and the I think it's Mission pigs. I fixed the PV on the solar that I destroyed. I repaired the water. And it's a lot of work setting up that fencing. Oh, the reason why the fencing, we got to do one more pen outside. That's where Patrick's got to live, and he has a porta hut. But I drove some of those posts in the ground by hand. Oh, the other thing is we added a solar light over here. And Bug's still visiting us. Boston Terriers. They've kept Poseidon busy, but on their own they're a great dog. So back here, eventually this fence, because we're dividing this in half, we're doing the 3 pens for the pigs, because we did originally have the original pig here. You see how big she is, right? I don't know how much she weighs. She's that's hundreds of pounds. Hundreds of pounds. But this fence line will eventually come up this side with a gate in here, and the goats will have one side. They're still free range, but the goats will have one side. And then over here, once we finish cleaning this up, we get all the stuff that we cut down. The sheep will have that side, and they'll have this part of the barn over here. But I added another solar light. I can tell you that post driver we have is a lifesaver. So we added this, you see it, solar light on top of this pole. So I drove this pole in the ground about 6 feet, and then we screwed this, I attached this other one to the top of it with that solar light. And that what that does is when any predators come around or anything's moving around over here, that light will come on, help deter some of the predators. But Yeah, when the post driver stopped working, this is how they were put in. With a sledgehammer and this hand post driver. That's really not an efficient way to do it. You do it with the post driver. That what is it? It's I gotta repair this. Stopped working when we got to this post over here. But we got this Titan post driver. It works great when it's working, but it stopped working, so I gotta repair that. Living off grid, you gotta be a little bit handy. You know, from solar electrical power to small engines to larger engines to just about any carpentry. You gotta be the meat, the animals. You have to be self-sufficient and self-reliant. If not, I can't get somebody up here all the time, and it get pretty spendy. Anyway, this is how we transported the. I'll do it on this side. This is how we transported the Mission pig. I bet you that pig weighs. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'll have to look that up, but I'm guessing 400, 500, 600 pounds. But what I did is I took this little trailer, took one of those porta hots, strapped the porta hot on it inside this frame, and then we had to force her up this gate on the back, and then close the gate, and then transport her here using our 800 razor. We're gonna work on the utility bathroom, shower room right today. Let's get this station. So that post hole digger, that hydraulically driven auger on our skid steer, we have several different sizes of them. This is a 12-inch, but the the soil in the summer, it has a high, start off, it's a high clay content. And in the summer, when the ground goes dry, this soil turns into concrete. We're gonna pour some concrete into these holes that we made. Frick. Hope that's a root. Because everything that we've yeah, it's a root. For a second, I thought it was another wire, but that's impossible because that's over here. So, even though the auger drills these, a lot of the dirt goes back in the hole when you go to pull the auger out because the soil's so dry. So the frost line here is like 12 inches, if that. Since we've been on the homestead, I haven't experienced a ground freeze. Alright, I got one more hole on the other side over here, which is where I originally intended on putting the hole. These are our PV wires that I haven't buried because I gotta still repair the conduit. I wanted to make sure our solar was working before I reburied that. But yeah, this is where I originally intended in putting that hole. And then looked at it because I thought the conduit came out this way and then ran down the back. Instead, I ran right into it. Not even a little into it, straight into it. Augered into it, and yeah, the pipe's over there. Even though this is a lot of work, having that auger on the skid steer is a lot easier than trying to do it by hand or using a hand power auger, because when we set these containers, And when we set these containers, I did them with a hand power auger, and it was like, I swear you were drilling through concrete. And then I poured concrete piers, and then I set those shipping containers on top of those piers. Okay. Well, now what I got to do is I got to cut the concrete forms, and then I'm going to mix up some concrete. I'll pour concrete in the bottoms of these holes. I'll set the form in it, and then fill the form with concrete. This beam here is going to cross across this and go underneath these longitudinal beams that run with the Conex box. Let's attach the bucket to the skid steer, get our gravel, get our cement mixer down here so we can get that all mixed up and in those holes. We removed all the dirt from the two holes. I got our concrete forms here. And what I did is I took our, I don't know how long this is, 6 foot? Yeah, it's actually 6.5 feet. I took a 6.5 foot level and came off our already established forms that are back underneath the Conex box, and then leveled that out. I put the concrete form down into the hole, use our level, drew a line, and then I measured down 7.25 inches, which is the thickness of the beam that's going to go across here. And now I'm going to cut them with our with a skill saw. Remember, all this electricity is powered by our solar system, solar panels. I'm going to put this wire fencing down into the hole to help reinforce the concrete. This is cattle fencing. He's a good little boy.
This is Patrick. I went and adopted him. He was born on St. Patty's Day. He's got the little things like that. He's red hair. He's got a one-leaf clover though. But he was born on St. Patty's Day, and I said he's got red hair like an Irishman.
He's a coon.
Yep, a coon.
And you're gonna breed the coon with the Michon.
But I'm keeping him. He is.
He's very docile.
Yeah, he was licking my toes this morning. He was like,
he?
I was like, I thought he was gonna bite, but he's going. I was like, oh, he's licking my feet like the dogs do. And he loves food.
Very dog-like.
And he follows me around. What? Come on, Patrick. Well, Meg's gonna make a liar out of me.
Alright, moved.
I have.
He's got very, very short legs.
Isn't he cute?
Yeah. How old is he?
I don't know. He's been on St. Patty's Day.
March this year.
Isn't he cute?
So March.
I'm gonna do
April, May, June, July. It's July.
He's about what, 4 months? Look at him. He likes belly
He's
rubs.
4 months old.
Look. He likes a belly rub.
You hear him out here all the time.
But the first 2 nights that we had him, he was crying for his family. Look at it. He likes belly rubs. Isn't he cute? He's a forever pig. I'm just going to use him for breeding purposes until he loses his mojo.
I'm going to breed him with the Michon.
Yeah. Michon. But I'm going to breed that with the Michon for about like 2 or 3, I got what they call them furrows. And then she's barbecue.
Let's move on to what we've been working on.
He's so cute. Oh, Tom hurt himself. But we'll get to that later.
You got to turn the camera off.
Oh,
Push the red button.
I gotta make a correction. It's not a forever pig. It's called a pork-ever pig.
A pork-ever pig. Pork-ever pig.
Yeah. I gotta wash my hands though, cause let me go wash my hands while you talk about this.
Oh. So we finally got our footings done for our utility bathroom shower room on the back of the conics here. I repaired the PV and the electrical going up and down.
Yeah, these aren't connected.
Well, yeah.
And there's a beam right here, and Tom stepped right here, and I said, make sure you don't step past that beam. He goes, yeah, I know. And like 5 minutes later, he went like that and slid and hurt his wrist.
Yeah, I fell backwards. I fell backwards.
Yeah, well, no, you kind of slid backwards. You just slid down like a...
Well, I tried not to go off.
You
but,
pretty much had a butt rash. Because your butt was...
I landed on my wrist.
Yeah.
Last thing you need at an off-grid homestead is...
an injury.
Yeah. Ow. So we cut all these boards on our sawmill. They all started off as 2 1/4 boards, and now they're finishing off after they dried. They finished off at 8. We're gonna plane those to do the decking.
And the tub's under there.
Yeah,
we're in a sunken tub. The washer and dryer is gonna be in here. Maybe I'll make some of my soaps in here. My soap thing is right there, but we gotta do that next.
So we get that done.
Yeah, you did a good job.
We got part of it done. We still gotta do some type of. We're gonna plane all these boards, and then we're gonna do a tongue and groove and lock it all together. But that's where we're at right now.
That washer's gonna go right there, so it doesn't won't hit our head there, and the dryer will come over here. And I want one of those dryers, kind of like the Italy dryers. We go like that, and you clip it You know how they have one building to building? I want that. Because I still like drying my clothes outside. The clothes smell better.
Yeah, the flies always look for your ears. I don't know why the flies always look for your ears. Yeah, my swollen wrist.
Yeah, you sprained it pretty good, babe. We're gonna have to go get him an arm sprint.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
No, we'll get you one at Wally World. What else are we doing? Oh, we got the pig pen. Did you do the pig pen yet? The paddocks. Patrick is still getting his paddock in.
Yeah, we started working on the paddocks, the pig
but the
pens.
hammer thing, we have to get a part for it.
We're gonna get a part for that
to finish.
The mishaps. You don't want to give negative things any energy because it keeps going.
Yeah, but we haven't been.
I haven't been. I purposely have not been doing it.
I think that's.
And then it just keeps going. Just keeps going.
There was somebody on Facebook that said that. It says, "Why does everything keep going?" I go, "Be thankful you get to witness the crap that's hitting the fan." And then all of a sudden we started getting it after I said that.
Yeah, we had the skid steer. I got coated with hydraulic fluid. We had the goats twice in the garden. They destroyed a tree.
That was dumb.
Trimmed the rest of them.
Dumb. I'm gonna eat her.
What else did we have happen?
I don't know. I always think positive.
Skid steer. A lot of negative things happen lately. So we're not going to give negative energy any.
I think it's a reset. It's like it's like, okay, you have to take a break because we don't take breaks. So you got hurt, so you have to take a break. You do not take breaks. So, you're like go every day.
We need to stop.
So this is the thing: is you got to stop. I mean, we're going every day from morning to night, and we're not taking breaks. So this is it. So now we got to go to Wally World and shop.
Not Wally World. We got to go to Home Depot.
Oh, Home Depot. Yeah, we got to go to Wally World to get you a thing. That's one right there. But
well, I'm gonna say it again.
Oh yeah, that there.
I gotta finish that. We'll do an episode on our upgrade for our solar. So we repaired the PV. I gotta get 2 connectors for the 120 volt, and then we repaired the water, but we'll do a special segment on the upgrade to our solar system. And
then we'll do a video on the sheep that I inherited. I inherited 8 sheep and 4 goats. Yeah, and the 2 pigs are down there.
That's why
and
the barn.
6 chickens.
The barn had to get done. Well, the barn. Where's the barn? Is the barn done?
No.
No, the barn's not done.
But the person who gave me the sheep donated some hay, grass hay, so a whole bunch of grass hay. I got more. I just pick up more.
We got to get the washroom here done before winter.
Yeah.
But we got the piers in the ground. Even though we did it the hard way, the piers are in the ground. Just remember, even though
crap hits the fan.
Yeah, crap hits the fan. Right.
Be thankful you get to witness it hit the fan.
And take a learning from what happened so that you don't do it again.
And take breaks.
Yeah.
I said, let's take a day off, and he doesn't take a day off. He's like out there. I'm like, come on.
Don't do it again. Don't be stupid. So the saying goes, if you know better, or if you learn, there's one thing, ignorance is excusable, but stupidity goes clear to the bone.
So, are you saying you're stupid?
Oh. Yeah. I was stupid. I
know. I said, watch out, don't hit that. I know. And like 5 minutes later, he slid.
Yeah. I
don't know.
Whoa. It isn't that big of a fall. If I was a 4-year-old, a 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old child, and fell off of that, I'd bounce off of there and run away like nothing happened.
Yeah, but you're not wearing a diaper. You want to wear Yeah. Okay.
God bless.
And make your day, even if it turns out to be poo poo, just be thankful you get to
Poo-poo.
see the poo poo.
No poo poo.
I'll kiss it, make it better.
God bless. God bless.
God bless. Let's say, but we can say it together.
God bless.
1, 2, 3, go.
God bless.